Hello, my name is Yellowtail Gaming, aka Nick K, aka the guy that cheated at the Special Olympics. And today I've got another sweet video. It must be insert non-offensive holiday. Right about this time.
Hold fast to your gun, Guardian.
Today's video is about the exotic auto rifle, the Monte Carlo. Monte Carlo is a very close range weapon, a very smooth weapon, a very stylistic weapon. Before I dig into any of that, let's dig into the perks. Starting off with CQB ballistics, smart drift control, and then aggressive ballistics. Anytime I see CQB and smart drift together, I think of a redundancy because they do essentially the same thing. Smart drift control having a slightly better recoil direction and CQB having better range. Then you have hip fire, which will increase your accuracy when shooting from the hip. Not very useful most of the time, however I do use it on this gun. Then you have high caliber rounds, Send It, and Field Scout. High caliber rounds is my choice here. Send It increases range and accuracy, however I don't think that the range on this gun needs to be increased all that much. It already has a very decent range of 46 points out of 100. So it's sitting at about halfway, which is very good for an auto rifle. But it's the way you're supposed to use it is a very close range thing, so making it harder to handle is not a good thing. And it also has a very low amount of ammunition. I think it sits at just under 300 rounds fully loaded. So decreasing that is not a good thing. I tend to find myself running out of ammunition.
Here's what needs to happen.
Enough without it. And then Field Scout, if you are really concerned about your ammunition, the Field Scout will remedy that. But I don't think that's as big of a deal as people might think. So I tend to go with high caliber rounds to stagger my targets. And then you have Monte Carlo Method, the exotic perk for the gun, which means that as you deal damage, you will slowly recharge your melee attack, and on kill, you have a chance to completely recharge your melee attack. My personal choice of perks for this gun is to go with aggressive ballistics and high caliber rounds. When using this, I tend to play a rushing character. Obviously, I want to make a lot out of my melee attacks, so I will rush in, hit fire to spray down a target, get him to flinch, and finish him off with a melee attack. If I don't finish him off with a melee attack, well then just a quick burst from this gun should do it, and then might have my melee charge back. It has a fairly decent stability, and it's got decent range, which you can increase both of those quite significantly. However, due to the fact that it's recharging your melee attack, I don't think you want to be fighting at long distances just because you won't get to make the most out of this gun. As with the other exotic auto rifles, it is a very versatile weapon. It's good in a variety of situations, thusly versatile.
The dreadnought shields the hive from the traveler's light.
In PvE, it's another auto rifle. The main point of it in PvE is to get that melee attack recharged, and your melee attack in PvE can be very powerful when timed right, or if you build around your melee attack, you can really deal some damage. And in PvP, once again, a properly timed melee attack can very easily change the flow of a battle. In aspects to the gun itself, very mediocre. I mean, recoil is... It's bouncy, it jumps everywhere. It doesn't have a very nice recoil pattern unless you put on smart drift control. Range is decent, reload is good. It's an 88-8, which is the middling impact and rate of fire for auto rifles. So the gun itself doesn't excel anywhere, but it also doesn't really fail anywhere. Another jack-of-all-trades auto rifle. I think we have enough of those. I'd like to see something else. But that's not the point of this video. Downside to the gun is that it does push you into melee range a lot more often than I find comfortable, especially in the Crucible, where people have shotguns, and shotguns are very dominant. If you want to get in there to hit them with a Storm Fist or a Blink Strike or something like that, you have to get within shotgun range. And if you're within shotgun range, you have a chance of being one-hitted, which isn't great.
I think Oryx just took an ogre.
Not even Oryx.
The point I'm trying to make here is that
Unless it's
I'm not trying to sing its praises, but I'm not throwing it in the trash either, because it doesn't belong in either of those places.
We've got it.
As exotics go, it is very middle of the pack. It's a fun gun to use, especially if you do something interesting with your exotic armor.
It's empty.
For example, playing a hunter with Gunslinger
Return to me, Guardian.
and the sealed Ahamkara grasps, you can get a melee kill, which will, with the grasps, reload your gun, or you can get a gun kill, which will reload your melee. And you just get this nice cycle of kill an enemy with the Monte Carlo, get your throwing knife. Throwing knife kills somebody, get your Monte Carlo. Monte Carlo kills somebody, get your throwing knife. And you can just go in circles like that for quite a while. Or perhaps you put on no backup plans with the Defender Titan and a shotgun. Now you've got your quickly recharging your Disintegrate Strike, which on kill will get you a overshield, and with the no backup plans, shotgun kills will grant you that overshield. So you can keep that overshield running for a very long time, and the benefits you can get out of that overshield are very powerful. Or perhaps you do it on a Warlock with the Claws of Ahamkara. Put on Flame Shield, Thunder Strike, Life Drain, any of them work. Now you got 2 charges, and Warlock melees are probably the best in the game.
Can you hear us? Still no connection. This must be how the Hive trapped Eris.
So while the gun itself is nothing special, I don't think anything too phenomenal of it. I don't think it's top of the pack, nor is it bottom of the pack. It lands somewhere right in the middle, and I really do mean right in the middle. You can do some interesting things with this gun, but other than being interesting, it is not explicitly useful. If I was going to do the raid or something, I would not bring this gun with. If I was going to, do King's Fall, I'd much rather have Bad Juju or the Zalo, Black Spindle, Zen Meteor, something like that. And in my exotic armor, unless you're doing something very specific with your exotic armor, I think it just takes away from this gun. So I just don't feel it's worthwhile to use over other weapons. If you're looking for a fun time, pick it up, go take it into the Crucible, do a daily mission with it. It's a fun way just to mess around. Especially with throwing knives. You can get pretty good with throwing knives if you use this, just because you'll have a shit ton of them. So my final thoughts on it is that it's decent. I've said that before. I've said it multiple times in this video. I'll say it multiple times in the future if somebody asks me about this gun. It is a decent gun. Close range is probably the better place to use it, building for a melee heavy build. But it's not tailored toward any one specific situation, which I think really detracts from the weapon. I think it detracts from all exotic weapons because they're supposed to be these unilaterally powerful guns that you pick up and you are much more lethal because of it. But I just don't feel that sense of power flowing from this gun. whereas I can feel it from a lot of other ones. I don't have much else to say about it, so if you have anything you want to clear it up, please drop a comment down below. If you have a combination of weapon and armor you'd like to see thrown into a video, leave that as a comment too. Just recently did one which is Eternal Warrior and Juggernaut. A very interesting build. Changed my mind about how I feel on Juggernaut for sure. Of course, like and subscribe. That's par for the course. If you want to hear more of my sweet, sweet articulating articulations that will articulate all the words, that is the best thing to do. And I have a Twitch, twitch.tv/YellowTailYout, and a Twitter of twitter.com/itsNikkiK. Those will be at the end of the video, and thank you, and have a happy, non-descriptive holiday today.